And no one bullies you on music anymore.
No one bullies you. No one's.
What does he know? This guy listens to Bryan Adams.
Hey,
He doesn't know anything.
please. So that you don't get into those arguments about music where it's like a taste thing where, like you're defending your music, someone's attacking your music, and then someone, because of their attack, you open up a little bit and your taste changes a little bit.
I saw Kunaal in his car, okay? He was listening to Hawa Hawa.
So what?
Yeah,
so
I was
what?
listening to Hawa Hawa.
So I was
I'll sing it right now. Yeah, Hawa.
Hey, Hawa.
What do you do?
It's coming?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ready
Sure, we
to
can
roll,
start.
camera rolling, sound rolling, and start.
You know, this we've just clapped because we're doing this video thing.
Yeah.
Clappers sometimes can make great noises.
Meaning?
Yesterday I was on a shoot where the clappers are camera rolling, clapping, act 3, scene 2, take 1, rolling. Instead of action, he went, ah! He just made that noise, ah! And
The
I figured-
director?
No, the guy who's calling the director allowed some guy to do the call. And that guy is like, Karen, something, rolling, action, wah! And then I said, can anyone make any noise on a film set? Instead of, normally it said action. Instead of action, can you? You have that look that says, I've never seen this in my 20 years.
No, as in, like, action generally is.
Action works.
Yeah.
So initially when he did that, it threw off a bunch of people.
would,
One
right?
actor started laughing.
Yeah.
So then he said,
Do
sir,
it
sorry
again.
sir, ye mera trademark noise hai. And then I realized that, can you have a trademark noise? I guess
No.
that's my first conundrum.
No. See, in some professions, you don't want any quirk. It's a very simple thing. Like
Heart surgeon.
heart surgeon.
Heart surgeon can't, in the middle of a very complex surgery, he's got the thing on, he can't have a noise.
So I'm saying that even like in that case, it's not like I am going to do my special stitch over here. Okay, like this is your artery. Generally, people just stitch like this, and then they stitch the artery and it joins like this. I'm going to join your artery like this. It's going to be this kind
And all
of
the
joint.
nurses are watching. See, this is Dr. Shukla's special
It's a
surgeon.
special artery joint.
Once he
it's
does
not
that, the
needed.
heart will just beat much faster. This guy's going to be at some other level only.
I just want a normal joint over here. When they have to call action, say action. That's it. Just action. But I'm saying that why do you have to get into all this shit? Like, you don't have to join the artery any other way.
Which raises a larger question that not everything requires a special signature.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't require. See, some things for attention is a different thing. Now, the clap guy's job is not to draw attention to himself. The attention has to be on the actors, not on the guy who's doing the clap.
Correct.
He has to clap. He has to just do clap and then out.
I think he realized that he was getting some attention. I think people in boring, mundane jobs sometimes do a thing to get attention.
Yeah, like there's this chaiwala recently who's got this colored hair and he smokes one cigarette and then he puts it out and he's got these glares. I don't know if you've seen him. He's very famous. Yeah, he even when Bill Gates came, he fed him chai.
I've
He's a very
seen it,
famous. He got gold rings.
Yeah.
And he does some dance, and then he does something with the chai, and then the chai goes over his head, and then he pulls it out from under his ass. I don't know what all he does with the chai, but it's some very complex thing.
Yeah.
No, that is
He
still
pulls the chai out of his ass.
no, out of his. I don't know what he does, but it's a.
But Bill Gates will come and see that.
That's what. And he was
Imagine
there.
if you're sitting in America, whoever you are,
Yeah.
and you're told you're going to India. Why? The guy pulls chai out of his ass. I'll come.
Big.
What's the
Yeah.
other meeting? Prime Minister Modi. We'll do that. But the chai ass guy.
Correct. Or you could get confused between the two meetings, which is also possible.
This could be the democracy itself. This could be a lot of things.
You never know.
Actually, it's my real question to you, Kunaal. It's more a conundrum. Is there any point in doing a job without a signature?
In today's day and age,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like even if you're making a pan, it has to be pan on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like then
Yeah.
you get something. Or you're on fire and the pan is not. Like I would
You're
ideally
fully
prefer
on
that
fire.
is that the pan wala is on fire,
Yeah.
and then he puts a completely normal pan in my mouth.
Yeah.
That would be more
But he's
entertaining.
fully
He's
on fire.
He's in flames.
Yeah.
The pan is not.
And you go to a pawn shop that does this.
Yeah, but it's still something. But I'm saying that
And for
now it has to be
hundreds of years, they've been pan.
normal pan.
Normal pan. Beetle leaf with...
Just eat the pan. It's
Stuff
like
in
pan
it.
and it's like whatever.
And as children,
Gets
you've
stuck in
been
your
to a
teeth,
pawn
yeah.
shop at the end of a movie, whatever. Now, what you haven't been to is a place where the proprietor was on fire.
Serving pan on fire. Pan wala on fire would be the thing.
And that would be the USP. So every other guy that's not been on fire for all these years would be upset. They're like, we missed a trick here.
Yeah. Like I went to a restaurant the other day and we came out and we had one pan and then we walked a little bit and then there was another pan wala. So one was behind the lane and one was like on the main road and we came out and we had his pan. He said, interesting. He said, abhi wo wale ka khaya and he got very competitive. Kaisa tha uska pan? He said, वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा मीठा था ना मैं इतना मीठा. So it was a very competitive thing. So you can understand that there is a very high level of competition.
Market forces.
Because
so if you told him, वो कैसा था वहाँ पे? अरे वो आग लगा था. वो आग लगा था. मैं वो बिल्डिंग को आग लगा दूँ. So then you think, that's how I guess.
That's how it happens.
It's competitive. That's
It's
how
very...
competitive. Like, for example, we've been doing this for podcast for years. Not, people have listened to us, they've been supportive. And they are also probably people who don't like a signature style.
I think that we need to set this podcast on fire.
So, say there was a person here fully on fire or totally naked, banging his head while we spoke.
It would be big.
It would be big.
We would be meeting Bill Gates very soon.
They're like, what is the podcast about? We don't go, but on the podcast, there's a very short man,
Yeah.
whatever the politically correct term is, who's banging his head and he's totally nude.
And on fire.
He's on fire also. And then Kunaal and Anuvab talk about whatever.
Some shit.
Some shit. That's not important.
How is the podcast? Not so good.
But this is a signature of the podcast.
It's very nice.
Man on fire, banging head. But you are against this, you're saying. You are...
I think it should be the thing. Like, I think the thing should be the thing.
Focus on the thing.
Like,
but the world, I'm sorry, Kunaal, I want to live in your world. I know that your world is the world that should be the world. But that's not enough now.
It's not enough.
Because even a pilot is thinking, any pilot can fly from X to Y. What if I flew backwards?
If I flew the plane backwards.
I took it up there. And rather than
Or the
going
plane flew forward, I was sitting backward. Even that is something.
Yeah. Then I put it on autopilot and I went to sat back. He's like, this pilot, he'd be an Insta star. Where he's flying the plane, he's turned back.
Yeah.
And the plane is doing its own thing.
And he's flying it backwards, taking off and landing.
He's doing all of this. He's just doing his
He's
thing.
doing all this.
Yeah. He's like 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet, cameras on him. See? Ulta. Pilot ulta. Totally ulta. And he'd be on Instagram as the ulta pilot. That's because anyone can do.
Just
so
fly.
That's his signature. People are like, what's his signature? He flies it. But that's unsafe. He'll kill everyone. When that happens, but for now, it's signature. I have a associated conundrum.
Okay.
That has to do with doing things the right way and the wrong way.
Right.
Reaching success. Germany, last week, a security guard who worked in a museum was also a painter. He took his painting that he had made and when he got it into the museum and he hung it up in the gallery.
Okay.
And no one questioned it. And for 2 years, I think it remained as an artwork. Then they caught him, he got fired, they filed criminal charges, this, that. So he didn't do it the right way, but people now are saying that's not a bad painting. So the other artists who went to art school, put it all the years, reached a certain gate which opened for them, which allowed them to be in this museum. This guy bypassed it, I guess, by hanging his own. There was some space on one of the walls by doing it. They didn't go through the right channels. My conundrum is he any less deserving to be hanging on the museum wall?
The thing is that when you jump the queue and you go to the front of the line,
Yeah. Without seeking anyone's permission.
without seeking anyone's permission, and you've just like, say you've entered certain rooms, like this guy's now entered a room, he's put his work up in a gallery. That would be the equivalent of me, say I walked into a board meeting
Yeah.
at Hindustan Unilever and I sat down on one of the chairs. I pulled up another chair and I sat. And I spent 2 years there. You know, like I'd go into office every day. But I just pull up a chair at the Hindustan Unilever
With your
thing.
laptop.
And I'd make presentations and I'd say,
Sorry.
you know.
Sorry.
So I'd sit at the board meetings, I'd make some notes, then I'd end up giving presentations, and I'd change company policy also.
Yeah. And no one would ask.
No one
They'll
would
like,
really know.
He works here. What's his name? Yeah.
So then by the
from
end,
operations. From
operations.
Kunal.
Yeah.
You're saying that's not deserved. But you could have done good work in the 2 years at
I
Hindustan Unilever.
I could have, but do I deserve to be there?
Well,
Now,
not when they arrest you and say you don't deserve to be there. But, I mean, who are they to judge? You put in the work to be an imposter. No one else took that time. Anyone could have done it, but you did it. But isn't that art also? That art is supposed to be doing something no one else has thought of.
I think it'll lead to too many problems, and she's right, it'll lead to mayhem, because you could slip into houses then
Okay.
and just say,
I'm her brother.
yeah, I'm the brother.
Yeah.
When did you? I'm saying, no. Or you forgotten? I'm saying that then it can lead to so many things, na? Because it gets into identity theft, it gets into, you know, too many things.
So
I don't
you
know.
can't role play your way into a profession. You still have to put in the time, you're saying.
I think you have to go through the whole rigor of it and then finally end up at that place.
Yeah.
But the irony of this is that given what we just discussed before this, that painting now will be worth a lot more than the
he's
others
done
in
his
that room.
signature. Yeah.
Because that painting has been covered now. It's been covered by the
And
media.
his value as a security guard has gone up.
Both artist and security guard.
Yeah. Last question. Are there professions that you are not qualified for? That you think you just want to enter and do? Like I'll tell you one thing. I've always wanted to argue before the Supreme Court of India.
But about anything. Dal makhani.
Whatever the case is going on. And recently I saw on YouTube, one guy tried that also. He put on a white coat and he went before Justice Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India.
Yeah.
And he said, who are you? He's like, sir, I would like to put this petition before the Honorable Supreme Court of India about all the ills and wrongs of India's judicial system. And some crazy guy, he did that. He said, who let you in? The question was, who let you in? And he's like, sir, I'm a member of the Bar Council. They're like, who let him in? Because there's a case roster.
Yeah.
So he's like, are you on the roster? No. What is your badge number? Didn't have a badge number. Please arrest him. Please throw him out. But he did it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, in life, I mean, look at every other lawyer there. They've spent 70, 80 years of their life to deserve to put that in.
Well, yeah.
But I think we live in the age of social media where you could quickly go and do that.
So
And
what would you would argue in front of the
that's what
Supreme Court?
I was like, if ever, I just want to stand in front of the Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court and be like, my lord, in my opinion, I think this is a travesty of justice. And then they're like, who are you? That's later. Then I just want to say these things. And the points 3 and 4 that they made, they're in total disregard of the constitutional law. On point number 3, he's that comedian that grabbed me and threw me out. But I get my little time in the sun. I guess it's about time in the sun.
I guess it's what your thing is. I would want to go to Parliament
Okay.
and I don't want to say that I'd be a heckler.
Yeah.
But I'd be riling things up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
You
I
want to
like
be
that
the
kind.
noise maker.
I want to be a noise maker in Parliament.
Yeah.
Just the guy who goes and just makes those, like the clapping on the table. I love.
Yeah. सीताराम जी
Yeah.
आपके जो जो strategies हैं वो समझ गया बीजेपी.
Oh, and I want to be one of those guys who just makes those sounds. I've always been the odd whistle here and there, like just
So at some point,
create
this
some sort of ruckus.
speaker of the house will realize, say, "अरे भाई ये कौन है वो?
कौन कर रहा है भाई?
ये रोज आता है यहाँ पे, वो घुसा कैसे अंदर?"
Yeah.
So, that they'll catch you also at some point. They'll trap you. The other noises will go down. You know?
And just,
They'll just be you.
I'll crawl under all the desks and live over there for a little while.
And I don't think it'll be that hard.
No. There must be some sort of gnomes and all who live in these parliament buildings and who just pop their heads out from the benches every now and again. Just get information from one place to another.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah. Yeah. वो bill pass नहीं होगा.
and then he just goes down under the desk and then crawls under the desk and pops his head out somewhere else.
Or, even better, there's a viewing gallery. And you can make noises from there also. Like I'm saying, but you'd have to be louder.
You have to be louder. Yeah.
Like imagine how good you are if from the viewing gallery a jump! Like Tharoor is speaking. From my constituency, Honorable Speaker, what I'm seeing in Kerala, jump! They all look at this. He said, कौन आता है रोज just चिल्ला के चला जाता है. अरे वो एक्टर कुणाल राय कपूर, वो ना अपना जो एक्स्ट्रा अर्निंग लेके अपने आप का पैसा से दिल्ली आता है. वो दिल्ली में एक होटल में रहता है, सुबह लंच खाता है, फिर ऑलवेज ये आफ्टरनून सेशन अटेंड करता है पार्लियामेंट का.
इधर ही सोता है वो.
3 से 5 वो जस्ट 3-4 चीज चिल्लाता है. फिर रात का फ्लाइट लेके बॉम्बे चला जाता है. ये करता है रेगुलरली. I think there's something quite lovely about being in things that you're not allowed to be in. Have you tried with acting?
My whole career has been that.
Just showing up on sets where they haven't cast you.
It's a performance of basically you're acting like an actor.
Yeah. The great Satyajit Ray has, when they were casting for one of the great directors, Jean Renoir, had gone to Calcutta.
Yeah.
He was staying at a hotel at the Oberoi Grand. And Ray said, I finished my day's work and went to the hotel and I presented myself. And that was a thing back then. You just went up and said, "Sir, I'd like to meet Mr. Jean Renoir." And he's a tall, good-looking guy. "Who are you?" "I'm Mr. Satyajit Ray." And Jean Renoir said, "Yeah, send him." "Hello, I'm Jean Renoir. You're Satyajit Ray. Why have you, I've just come to present myself." "Okay, sit." And people will just get to know it.
Yeah.
Now there's so much suspicion, I think, with...
There's a lot of there's many levels before you can reach a person.
Yeah.
It's like
I would never even say reach you, for example. Our lives would have not intersected. We met on a set, we were both working on it. We said, "Hello, I'm so-and-so, hello, I'm so-and-so." We became friendly. But if I just showed up in your house and said, "Oh, I know your work, you're that Anuvab comedian," yeah.
shut the door.
I've just come to present myself. You have a busy day, you got dogs, you got things going on. The door was shut.
Like, what are you?
Yeah. He said, "Yeah, I went to Kunal's house, he threw me out there." Fair enough.
I went to present
I
myself.
just presented myself. I just thought I'd present myself. But back then it was normal. You could present yourself. "Who are you?" I'm me.
I guess back then people were willing to accept a presentation. I think
Yeah.
they had time
Yeah.
to view the presentation. They were like, "Okay, present yourself. I am so and so. I live this. I love these films." Very nice. I saw your presentation. I liked it.
You
But
presented
now I
yourself.
think that we don't have time or
Phone, all
inclination
this.
to engage in the presentation.
Yeah.
We don't want to see the
Send
presentation.
a message.
Just message me or just call my agent or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're not into the presentation of a people.
Because that guy dressed up and everything and he
Yeah.
came.
So because Mr. Ray might have said, "Hello, myself Satyajit Ray."
Yeah.
He might have said something.
Yeah.
Must have said it,
Yeah.
and then might have continued on,
Yeah.
to say that I've watched these films and I'm a huge admirer, which people say, and then but when through conversation you get to engage with the person, and say,
You
okay,
think
this
you're
guy's
a
got some
nice,
sense.
well-spoken, tall guy.
Yeah,
Come in,
let's chat.
Yeah.
But now I don't think people are ready to hear unless it's a transactional sort of space.
What do you want?
You have to be
What do you
ready
want?
for presentation.
Yeah.
So there's a time, it's like I'm now ready for presentations, which is a job hiring time.
Yeah.
It's like I'm now ready to receive presentations.
Yeah.
But I think back in the day, people would present themselves on meeting a person. But what
Yeah.
are the chances I'm going to meet you again? I don't know. How am I
Life,
going to get
yeah.
in touch with you? I'll have to write you a letter.
Phones, where?
Now, destiny was a bigger thing, right? Because it was two people coming, meeting, and people would be open to destiny,
Yeah.
having
Anything can
the
happen.
chance of meeting a person, and then being open to that meeting was also something, right?
Yeah.
Now we don't give a shit about all that. No, it's like we'll see
I
where it
ain't
goes.
important, I'll look
If
you up
it's-
online.
I'll figure it out. So
So sad.
So we don't leave room for destiny to play its thing also anymore.
Yeah.
But we don't have the time or the inclination.
Yeah. Imagine if you opened your door, I opened my door suddenly this evening, and he said, "Sir, मैं आ गया." अरे कौन है? मैं आ गया sir. अरे मैं sir मैं. And we wouldn't be interested in
We wouldn't be
knowing
interested
who this
in knowing,
person.
and we wouldn't have the.
Hut. That's what we become. Kunaal, one thing we have to say before we move on, we are now on YouTube,
Yes.
on whatever these things are. People are seeing us.
Yes.
And frighteningly, they are commenting.
They're commenting.
Yeah, so we have comments from friends, enemies. I'll start with some friends first. So friends have flown away from us.
What are you doing, pal?
So I'm very good on camera. See how cool I am? These things are falling apart here. This is that look you have that I'm embarrassed to be alive.
No.
This that look. But because you've seen worse.
I have.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah. A comment from our friend, Saurabh Pant, comedian,
Yes.
whose YouTube thing is Pant on Fire.
Pant on fire.
Pant on Fire. He could be here because we need someone on fire.
Yeah, he could be on fire.
Love the show. Just small suggestion. Is it possible for both of you to sit closer? The distance seems cold. We're cold people.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a valid thing. I think that
Yeah.
we're trying to maintain a certain.
A certain distance. We
a
don't even
certain
know each
distance.
other actually.
Yeah.
And this is too late for us to get to know each other.
Actually, we've actually split up even more. Generally,
Yeah.
Or how we do the podcast is Pal sits in my lap.
Often.
You generally
Often.
sit on my lap.
During
and then
the podcast and also otherwise.
otherwise also,
Yeah.
because you generally sit here.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot
And you
more intimate.
stroke me like a small leopard or
Like a small bunny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a cat.
That's a different podcast we do, but it's a very concerning.
That's not on this channel.
That's
on
not.
a
That's
different-
mostly not for
It's on the dark web.
human. Yeah, we didn't want it on the dark web. It just got put on the dark web.
It auto migrated.
Yeah, it automatically humans decided we don't want to see this.
AI decided. It
Yeah.
was just like the dark web sucked that content.
Saw it.
And said this is
It's
not
not
suitable.
human. This is not human. It's even worse than the worst kind of violence and pornography that exists. Me sitting on your lap. So let's just
And
put it in.
4 years of that podcast
Yeah.
of you sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
So just to let Saurabh know that this is the maximum distance that we have been allowed
Legally.
legally.
Yeah. By the Maharashtra police.
Yeah.
This is the closest we can get.
Yeah.
We have another comment from Mona6264 at Mona626. Seems like a bank password.
Don't say it out aloud because
Sorry.
I'm sure it's like some sort of.
Love this format. Will you just talk to each other like in the podcast, or will you address the audience from time to time?
Well, that's
Hi.
exactly. Hi, audience.
Hello.
We're addressing you.
Hi, Mona6264. Whichever bank this is.
You're
So,
addressed.
Yeah. I like that noise you made. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. It's
Nah.
good. It's good. Feels like we're eavesdropping into a conversation between two middle-aged men in the next cubicle. Wait, that's sort of what this podcast is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
middle-aged
have
men
much
thing
middle-aged
comes
men.
up a lot.
I don't have much experience with cubicles.
Yeah.
But I guess I guess people must be having conversations.
I don't know who's sitting next to her in her cubicle. Must be two middle-aged men, because in which case I'm sorry that is your work setup.
environment.
That there are two men like us that you have to be near
Yeah,
in your work.
that's unfortunate.
Sad for you. She also put in the next cubicle in parentheses. And I don't know if everything can go in parentheses.
In the next cubicle means that not really in the next cubicle, or what could it mean? Like, because when you say
Two
in
middle-aged-
the next cubicle, or
Yeah.
is it like?
No, you're right. She's going for that irony.
But then I'm
Like
not
two
understanding
middle-aged. I'm
the
not
whole thing.
understanding the bigger irony.
The bigger irony. So they're not in the next cubicle. They're actually outside, but sounding
Conversation with two middle-aged men in the next cubicle. Where are
like
they?
in the next cubicle. Like there's also like someone else has said it.
Oh, either way, are you making fun of this environment? Or in which case, I'm not. My English is not that good.
No, I'm. It's beyond me.
Yeah, this
But
is like saying.
thank you for
it's
listening.
Like, thank you for listening. It's like sitting next to two old men, middle-aged men at the zoo. You know, it's like, what?
Could
Why
be.
are you sitting next to two old men at the zoo? You know, like it's. But I'm not that funny, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know that. This is from someone called at COVID Rathi, which for some reason I think he's making fun of the famous YouTuber Dhruv Rathi. I don't know why I think
No, I
that.
don't know. I think his name could just be COVID.
COVID Rathi. Why does Kunaal always look like he's parodying another person?
Who? Who am I parodying?
That's the thing. Unless you know who you're parodying, you're probably not parodying anyone. Now, after seeing him do it on video, I believe it to be truer than ever before. Anyway, huge fan of the podcast. Who are you parodying a Kunaal Roy Kapur
I don't know.
in the next cubicle? I don't think we're as bright as our listeners. I
I think our listeners are a little brighter because unless I
We're not
refer to myself as
understanding-
Kunaal Roy Kapur,
Yeah. Oh, were you with Kunaal Roy Kapur or Kunaal
Kunaal
Roy
Roy
Kapur?
Kapur. I think I was with Kunaal Roy Kapur.
Right. Ha 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 ha.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. I guess we're missing.
I don't know because I don't. I'm not parodying another person. I'm just like kind of just talking.
Yeah, it's just you.
But I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, maybe it's someone. In which case, that person needs to be in this podcast as well.
Yes.
So as every time you speak, be like, "Hey, listeners, that was quite good. That's pretty good. What do you say, hey, listeners? That's not bad." So that person we haven't met.
We
but
haven't met
if
that
you know that person, then you can tell us who this person is.
Abhay Nayak
Yeah.
says, I've been listening to this for years. My conundrum is I want to send so many of my conundrums over the years, but I've procrastinated it to a point where you guys pivoted your medium twice, added and removed Patreon, and now on YouTube. How would you advise me to handle or improve this? Basically, he's saying that over all these years, we've shifted platforms, we've had subscription models, and now we're finally on YouTube, and he still hasn't figured out a way to send his conundrum. That's his conundrum.
So he hasn't invested. He's invested in us,
He's invested for
but he
years,
hasn't cashed his investment in.
but sending the right
But
conundrum.
sending the right conundrum. So he's been holding on to us through many iterations.
Yeah.
And we have, say, if we are a stock, we are like Apple or ITC.
Yeah.
That's what you were suggesting.
Yeah.
And our stock has split many times
Yes.
over time.
We now don't even do what we started out doing.
Correct. So we've pivoted hugely.
I mean, we started with cigarettes and now we're dealing in chips.
Chips, hotels.
Hotels.
Yeah. So we're a whole different business.
Right.
But you are a faithful Abhay from the beginning. You have not sold
No.
out. You're holding on. And our suggestion would be then hold on forever.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't sell your stocks as yet.
Because we will pivot several more times.
Many times. And I think that this can't be the conundrum that you send.
No, eventually you'll send a conundrum to some AI version of us.
Yeah.
Which will be answered by two people in a chipmunk voice.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the real Kunaal Roy Kapur.
Yes.
Who, as we were told by by COVID Rathi is
COVID
not this man.
It's not me.
Yeah, I don't
I'm parodying someone
You are
else.
parodying someone else. Hey, Kunaal. Yeah, so there's the real Kunaal Kapur is in Parliament
Yeah.
right now, going.
Hey!
So this is some other person here.
Yeah.
Kunaal,
Yes.
to finish out our segment,
Yeah.
you had a huge gripe about music.
Yeah, I had a big gripe about music. I just feel I was trying to buy a gift recently, and earlier it was one of the options. You just go and buy a CD, buy a tape for someone, buy a tape, buy a CD.
Yeah, lovely.
And it would be a representation of what you think they might like, what you like, and you are hoping they'll like it, or it's like try this, check this music out, it's pretty cool, or
Kunaal
I knew
Kapur.
you'd love this music, it's totally down your street, and then that person would listen to it and Kunaal had given me this, and this is, and then they their tastes also kind of
I didn't expect this. Kunaal Rai Kapur,
Yeah.
Sarod at Sunrise.
what a thing,
With
man.
Amjad Ali Khan and Ayan
one would have
Bangash.
thought- exactly.
They throw us off.
Yeah. So it's now not a possibility to gift anyone music anymore, which is sad that it's been taken off the table of gifts, because now everyone has all music. All music that's ever been is everyone subscribes to.
There's no signature.
Apple Music, Spotify. So I actually have access to all music. So now it's come down to my taste,
Yeah.
or what the app thinks is my taste,
Yeah.
depending on what my playlist is. So it just keeps feeding me more of the
And
same.
no one runs into your house and says, "Let me see your playlist."
Yeah, or let me go through your CDs
Yeah.
and then I'll recommend something. Or say, you're listening to this guy.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
wrong with you? I mean, we don't have those conversations anymore.
And no one bullies you on music anymore.
No one bullies you. No one's.
What does he know? This guy listens to Brian
Hey,
Adams. He
please,
doesn't know anything.
please. So that you don't get into those arguments about music where it's like a taste thing where,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're defending your music,
Yeah.
someone's attacking your
Yeah.
music, and then someone, because of their attack, you open up a little bit and your taste changes a little
Yeah.
bit. None of
I
that
saw
is
Kunaal
happening.
in his car. Okay, he was listening to Hawa Hawa.
So what?
Yeah,
So
I was
what?
listening to Hawa
So I
Hawa.
was
I'll sing
listening.
it right now. Yeah, Hawa Hawa.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So the problem is that people used to change a little bit with the
Yeah.
interaction of other people recommending or pushing, like giving them a thing. Then
Very
something would
personal.
grow on you.
Yeah.
See, I think that what the best that I could think of right now is how we used to make mixtapes. We used to make mixtapes and say these are for you. Very thoughtful.
I love you,
because-
Pooja.
Yeah, and it would be very thoughtful because there was a lot of effort in there.
Yeah, yeah.
A little piracy and a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So you would pirate from some other tape or some CD and you'd press that button like that together. You'd press the play and the thing, and the tape would go with a dual tape deck, or it would be CD to tape. And you'd be
Superb.
pressing the
And usually some
tape.
guy in love. It was always a
Some guy in love because
16,
you have time.
17-year-old
You have
in love.
time and
Yeah.
you're
It's no sacrifice.
I'm not an actor. So all this is going on.
Yeah. Pooja,
Is it-
meanwhile, is happily dating some other guy.
She's on a bike. She's she's speeding. She'll be involved in an accident very soon. But I'm just saying that while all this is happening, you are making a mixtape. But the thing is that is it the same
Yeah.
to make a playlist and send it to someone? That's so lame, right?
I think tech
There's
has
no-
killed all culture.
It's killed all industries,
Yeah.
I think.
Because
One by
now
one.
we have so many choices of films and you're like, I'm going to sleep.
Hmm.
So my new thing is that I've been doing this lately, and I know this is not a very pleasant way to end a podcast, but I want to know. I nowadays just sit in silence
Yeah.
because I'm overwhelmed. Because I open my thing, I have 6 different things from newspapers to read. I open my music, I have all the music in the world. Films, I have too many films. Now I've decided I'm going to rebel against tech. So I sit quietly now.
So what you're telling our listeners is don't listen to us.
Don't listen to this, do anything. Just
Don't
sit
do
quietly.
anything. Just sit quietly.
Or sit and listen to us. Listen to us telling you not to do anything.
Yeah.
I had a 12-hour flight. I just sat there. So I've decided that like today for 2-3 hours, I might just go home and sit.
It's the toughest thing.
It's damn hard.
It's like gymming. It's literally for me. It's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
But for the mind.
Yeah.
So it's like sitting has become such it's become a mental task now.
Yeah.
Like it's literally, I've got to do this for myself.
I've got to sit in
I'm
my-
going to just sit.
Yeah.
Like,
And my
it's
wife will come and I'll
then
talk
you feel
to her.
good. What did you do today? I sat for 2
2
hours.
hours.
2 hours you sat. I just sat, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
And people will be like blown. It's
Yeah.
like,
I want to get
saw
there.
this guy, he just sat
He
for
just
2
sat
hours.
in his house. His
He
living room.
just
He sat. And my wife will come say, you want some toast? Yeah. How's your
You wanna
day?
watch
I'll have
something? You
some
wanna hear
conversation.
something?
No, nothing.
Just sat.
Talk to me. I'll talk to you. And like while talking, I don't look at my phone also
Just
every
look
2
straight.
seconds. Just her. Words will be exchanged.
Impossible.
And they say, you're done, yeah. Then what? What do you do now? I'll sit here now. Then I'll just keep sitting.
Stuff.
They put me in an asylum, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
you'll be a crazy person.
Yeah. Just trying to do one thing. So listen, our listeners have been saying, will we still be doing listener special now that we are visual? Of course.
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing listener specials.
Next episode will be a listener special.
So send in your conundrums.
Please.
You can write to us.
Exactly. At last week at audiomatic.in.
That's the one. Our last week at audiomatic.in.
And our great producer Kangsha will take a look at them. And I'm imagining Kangsha shifting through conundrums being this one, no this one, this one. No, all of them.
All.
Yeah. I think something like that will happen and we will address them and we will try to imagine who all our wonderful listeners are, like at Abhay Nayak and at Neil Mosquito 4825.
We shall address you all. Thank you so much for writing in and please do send in more such conundrums.
Should we end with a noise? But you haven't seen that Supreme Court guy?
No.
I want to file a case against the whole judicial system, Your Honor. Chief Justice reads that.